Hi everybody, Laura here. Thank you so much for joining me today. I've got a fun little project to share with you using the latest February card kit by Simon Says Stamp. Unfortunately, the card kit is sold out, but everything that I'm using to create this card can be purchased separately. So no worries. I've got the window frames stamp set, this trio shaker die pouch, and I'm going to start by embossing this floral kind of foliage window frame. I've got a panel of Nina Solar white cardstock. I'm inking it up with Versamark ink, and I'm stamping this floral window frame. I'm pouring on some Simon Says Stamp embossing powder, and I'm going to heat this with my heat gun. I'm going to do a little emboss resist. And you know, I like a good ink blend. I do. There's hardly ever a card, unless it's strictly all die cutting, that I don't pull out the old ink blenders. And so these are my favorite warm tones: candied apple, spice marmalade. And at first glance you might think, this is going to be a Valentine's card. Not necessarily. I mean, it doesn't ever go out of season to tell somebody that you love them, right? So, but you could, customize the sentiment for any occasion. But I got to talk to you real quick. I'm using squeezed lemonade, and then I pulled out spun sugar. Okay, this is the first time I've ever done spun sugar and blended it in to squeezed lemonade. And the overlap was a beautiful, subtle, peachy color that I think I'm going to have to explore a little more. That just got me giddy. Spun sugar and squeezed lemonade. And then I did picked raspberry. I'm loving these colors together. It's tickling my fancy. I go over it with a little dry paper towel, and then I'm going to die cut this trio window die right in the center. And then when I realized those little window pane strips in the middle, I don't know what those are called, but they needed a little ink blending love to make them look like they fit in. So I gave them a once over, and there you have that. Now, I decided to just trim this out with my paper trimmer. I did think about fussy cutting it out, but who's kidding who? I'm too lazy for that today, so I'm going to keep it really sharp and clean and graphic. That's what I'm telling myself. But that's what a lazy person tells themselves when they don't feel like fussy cutting. Keep it clean. So I chose to do the love you, love you, love you sentiment. There's several others like big hugs, so kind, thank you. Of course, you could use, a stamp set that you might have. I even thought it'd be cute if you had a little critter. You could do a critter popping its head out of one of the windows. I just decided to stamp love you 3 times. Again, you could say I'm feeling lazy, or maybe I just like the clean repetition of it all. And I didn't even have to move the stamp. I just shimmied my panel up until it lined up, and then I just stamped it again. By the way, I'm using VersaFine Onyx Black ink, my favorite black ink in all the land. It gives you the sharpest, crispest sentiment. I'm telling you. Here's some score tape. This came in the kit, but I already had score tape. It's nice because it's an 1/8 of an inch wide, which is very skinny. I'm putting some on the back of this little trio shaker pouch, which, by the way, is from My Favorite Things. And only one came in the kit, and I think I need to get some more of these. These shaker pouches make shakers a delight. They really do, and they give you lots of room for shakeage. You know what I mean? You never have to worry about your shaker being too tight. Okay, so I've got, for the filler, some Studio Katia iridescent, and then a few of these little sweetheart embellishments that came in the kit. Those are sold separately as well. They're cute little mini hearts. I pop this down, shaker's done. You want to be careful. This is controversial. How much filler do you add? You don't want to be stingy, but you don't want to add too much that you can't see the sentiment. There's a fine line. You don't want to look stingy with your filler, but then you don't want to not be able to read, Okay, so these are the things I think about at night when I'm laying in bed. How much filler to add? Okay, I decided to trim a few strips of black and white striped pattern paper. This is from a pattern paper pack by My Favorite Things. It's all black and white pattern paper. It's a must-have staple. I love to use a little black and white when I have a really colorful card. It just gives it a nice, sharp contrast. I like to use these design terms. It makes me really sound like I know what I'm doing. So I glued those on. I'm going to pop up the shaker panel. Notice I'm using the Misty to line everything up. It works like a charm. I learned that from Kathy Zilski. And this card's finished. Love you, love you, love you. In case they didn't know, you can tell them 3 times. And this card is finished. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.